What's going on, people? Back with a bang. This is the Money Management, and obviously, as you can tell, I'm pretty excited for this video. So in this video, I'm going to do a recap of this week's trading. This was actually my biggest week in the markets this year. But the good thing is I ate, the team ate, the group ate, the Discord ate, everybody ate. So it was a great trading week. Even though, as you can see, the markets sold off this week. You know, it was a very rough week. Today, the markets did kind of crawl back a little bit, but NASDAQ was down this week. S&P 500 was down this week. I think the Dow ended up slightly up, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it was a very interesting week and a week where I definitely had a lot of fun. So we're going to dive into the trades I took this week. I didn't actually take that many trades, which kind of shows you that you don't always need to take too many trades, but you need to take the right trades, of course. A lot of people say the markets are rigged and all that kind of stuff. That's not the case. We can still make money as well. So before we dive into what I'm going to look at today and what I traded this week, please drop a thumbs up. These videos do take time to make. Also make sure you comment on the video and all the other good stuff as well. So here you can see from the title, the streaming gold rush is over. That's in reference to Hulu, Netflix, Disney, who else? Okay, a bit of Google as well. Yeah, they created all those to save you guys from having to pay too much for cable, you know. And at this point, it looks like it is possibly becoming the end of an era. Now, whether that is true or not, who knows? But I'm just telling you what the article's kind of saying. Now, obviously, you guys know Netflix raised prices earlier this year or earlier last year. And then this year they had the, I won't say issues, but you know, they started letting people know that they're going to stop the allowance of sharing passwords. But yeah, those kind of things were not good news for Netflix. And they reported earnings back in July. Let's jump over to trading view actually. Let me start looking at the stocks themselves. So yeah, Netflix they reported earnings back in July, and you saw the stock actually tank right after that. So before that, it was on a great run, as you can see, and right after the earnings, zoom, straight down. So yeah, Netflix is one of the stocks I traded this week, but I'm going to start off with American Airlines because that was the first trade I took this week. I took calls with American Airlines. It was a one-day thing on Monday, the very first day of the markets. So if you look at the daily chart, we trended down to the 200 moving average and then we were holding above it. So I did take a risk with the calls, but now it's broken below. It's looking on for puts. But let's dive into my trade specifically with American Airlines. So if we go to Monday, so Monday trading, here we go. As I said, Monday took $15.50 calls. We were under the moving averages, and as we started to break above the moving averages, getting back-to-back green candles, closing above the 9-day and the 21-day moving average, I saw an opportunity to take calls. Now with this one, it pushed up to highs of 15.90, and my price target was 15.94. A lot of the group were asking, oh yeah, you know, are we going to swing? Is it going to continue going? I was honestly like, I think it's a good idea to swing, but I'm not 100% sure. That, you know, trended above the moving averages on 50-minute chart. On the 1 hour chart, it looked pretty good as well. Here we go. It looked pretty good as well. So it did look like a good swing. We were up 84%, I think 87% by close. And then overnight, you saw the moving averages cross down and the stock started to sell off. No problem. It happens sometimes, but that does remind you sometimes you just got to take your profit. Even if things look good you got to remember the overall picture, it's a bearish market. So yeah, that's one thing I wanted to highlight. When it's a bearish market and you're in calls, it's probably best to take profit on the day itself if you're in a day trade. But let's move over to Netflix now, because this was the trade of the week. This was the trade of the year. Let's look at the daily chart to see how the week panned out. So you can clearly see it was already bearish this week. Had 5 trading days, majority of them red, and the moving averages were crossing to the downside. Now, if you look at the weekly chart, it's going to show you how the price action turned out this week. Straight red. We're pulling on down to that moving average right there. We're still bearish on different time frames, multiple different time frames. So it was in a clear downtrend. Also, my white line of support is there, and I was saying, hey, we're going to pull on down to my white line of support right there. Eventually, we broke below it, but I wasn't to know that, you know, when I called out the trade. So what trade did I take for Netflix? So we're going to jump over the 4 hour chart. So Wednesday, I took the $415 puts when it was around $422. Lo and behold, let's check the 1 hour chart now. Lo and behold, kept getting rejected by the moving averages, kept downtrending. If you look at the 15-minute chart and the 5-minute chart, you'll see the same thing. And as I said, this looked good for at least a drop to 415. So we got in around 422 and we continued the downtrend till Thursday and it continued until open today. Let me show you what open today looked like. Open today looked like a push all the way below $400 at one point. So these puts were up over 760%. Easily trade of the year. And let me just show you my gains for this week because those were actually incredible. That's why I'm happy with how this week went. But yeah, over 11K up on the week. That's how you trade. That's how you swing a play. Look, you could have done this with many different stocks, honestly. Another one I pointed out in the group was Tesla, similar chart. I'm telling you guys, NASDAQ was down. So many different stocks in the tech sector were down. Look at Tesla. And I'm telling you, yeah, you're smoking, but you're getting smoked right now. I'm telling you, this has got more to do. It's got more bleeding to do. I'm in Tesla puts now, swinging over the weekend. Moving averages crossing to the downside. Look, it just looks the same as Netflix chart. It looks almost identical to how Netflix was. I think this even looks worse. So yeah, Tesla puts are still on the cards. Tesla, you could have easily took swings to the downside. I was saying $220 is my price target. From way up at 240, 250, I was saying 220 is my price target to the downside. We traded Tesla puts a few times in the last couple of weeks. And I'm telling you, there's still more bleeding to do. So yeah, as I said, Netflix over 760% on those puts. You know, for getting 415 puts when the stock is at 422 and riding it all the way down to $400, that's an incredible trade. Called it out in Discord. People got to eat off that. Showed you guys the charts in the Discord as well, which is where, you know, we do the breakdowns. But it was a very beneficial trade. Now, another trade I did take today was QQQ. Let's not leave without showing all the trades I took this week. QQQ. So it was a tough day for us when it came to QQQ today because we took puts as it broke down at the beginning of the day. I started downtrending. I saw the moving averages crossing to the downside and it did start pushing down, but it kept closing higher and higher and higher. Eventually I got out of these puts at 23% loss, so which is okay because it was a 0 DTE expiring today. And obviously great that I didn't hold because it ended up pushing up about $2-3. So like I said, you know, you will take some L's, but in this case, I didn't mind. You know, it had been a great week. I took a final risk, high reward play to end the week. Not too much money in it just to see how it would pan out. I prefer the other trades better. I'm not a day trader. I'm not a scalper. I prefer those swing trades, you know, when you can clearly see it. Direction is in our favor. Price action is in our favor. And you know, something like this is bearish. So markets are still bearish right now. There's a few bits of, you know, rumors and information flying about in regards to inflation rates hiking. We'll find out, you know, when the next CPI data comes out. You know, we're at 3.2 right now. Let's see if it ends up being a 3.5, 3.8. That will cause the market to continue selling off. But yeah, you know, we make money in any market, so it doesn't really matter. I do want to touch on the S&P 500. So SPY, similar trend. That's what I want to highlight. We're seeing similar things with all these different stocks. I'll pull up a couple more now. UPST. That is just tanked below the 200 moving average now, continuing to sell off. Also, shout out Showing Off in the group. Shout out Bob and Showing Off for trading Nike puts. Look at Nike, guys. The little channel it was in between here and here. When you want to identify a channel, it's pretty simple. See where the body of those candles close? Under there and between there. It finally broke out of this channel to the downside. So shout out Bob and Shona for recognizing that and getting in on the puts. This is a nice swing trade as well. But as I mentioned, there are so many stocks which are just selling off like crazy. I think Roku's another one which has been selling off since earnings. It pushed up at earnings and has been selling off since. Alibaba, if you look at the Chinese sector on the downtrend, this is a great opportunity for puts as well. And in my next video, so make sure you tune in for that one, you're going to be able to watch to see what I'm watching for this upcoming week. But there are so many different opportunities. Again, I talked about SPY, I talked about Alibaba, Roku, UPST, also crypto. Check out crypto. Crypto has been suffering like crazy. Look at that. This tells you enough. This tells you enough right here. I mean, does it get much worse than this? Honestly, it's a pretty bad time right now in the markets, in stocks, in crypto. But you can make money both ways. You can make money in any market. That's what we do. That's what we specialize in the Discord. We make money in any markets. So markets are still looking bearish. I don't mind because we're going to make money, as I said. I'm happy because in such a week where a lot of stocks have gone down, I've managed to keep the portfolio up, and not just up, but up in a very entertaining way, I'd say, with my biggest trade of the year. So yeah, that is mainly it for today's video. As always, come and check out the Discord. We are live in there every single day. We do the stock breakdowns, we look at charts, we do the call outs, of course, discuss different stocks we're looking at, all that kind of stuff. I also talk about my long-term stock portfolio in there, so come and check us out again. And then if you want to learn how to trade, how to make specific plays for yourself, just purely for your own good, then you can check out the Stock Option Starter Pack. That is a group of 10 videos. You have access to those for life at one-time payment. Link in the description below. And of course, check out all my socials. I'm active on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok with the stock advice, with the stock tips, all that kind of stuff. Not financial advice though. But of course, go check me out at The Wealth Prince on those different platforms. Overall, if you've not checked out last video where I talked about how I made the first trade with Netflix, go check it out. And if you've not checked out other videos on this channel, go check them out. And more importantly, be back here next time for another video. Thanks a lot for watching. I go into making, you go into making. See you guys next time for another video. Peace.
Game over.